Hello everyone, Nate here. We thought it would be a good idea to preface this and a few upcoming episodes with a little bit of information. Firstly, we're all very new to podcasting. We all have listened to them, but creating one is a whole different experience. We hope you can be patient with us as we move forward and start to understand exactly how it is we want to make content for you guys. Secondly, rate and review us wherever it is you listen to podcasts. There's no better way to make sure we know what it is you like and what it is you think we need to work on. We're always working to make the show better for you and would appreciate your input. Last but not least, thank you for listening and for your support. We've been looking forward to doing this for a long time, and it's because of you that we get to continue to do so. Now, with all that out of the way, welcome to the Rolled Standard. We hope you enjoy the episode. Cheers, and don't sniff glue.
And welcome to the Rolled Standard. We today are going to be playing, or continuing rather, Call of Cthulhu. We're going to be playing Scenario 2 of the starter set, titled Edge of Darkness. So let's just get right into it. I'll be your keeper again this evening. I'm Chris, and we're joined by, of course, Wentworth Avsbury.
Yes, he's going to change it.
Of course, played by Aaron. And Nevada Jones, of course, played by Nate.
Me.
Yes, you.
I'm excited to get back into it because this shit is creepy as fuck.
Absolutely, and this is a better story than the one we played previously, and we really liked that one.
Yeah,
so
that one was like really, really simple.
Yeah, and this one,
probably not.
This is an actual mystery, which is, I mean, that was a mystery too, but this is more mysterious of a mystery.
Fuck yeah.
Mystery-er. Mr. Rear? Mr. Rear.
It's nice to meet you, Mr. Rear.
I'm gross. Commander Front.
All right. Let's do this, boys.
So,
before we begin,
sure.
What is the time difference between our previous one and this one?
A couple years. It's 1923 now.
And the previous one was?
I believe 1920 even. Yes.
Sweet.
I think it was.
Very good.
A few years have passed. So, you have recently each been contacted by Rupert Merriweather, an aging man you have known for some time. Merriweather is unwell, and it seems not long for this world. He has asked you to meet him at St. Mary's Teaching Hospital in Arkham at 1 o'clock on Thursday. You haven't seen the man for quite some time, so this urgent summons appears to be quite important. Perhaps he has something to tell you before he dies. So, what do you do?
Said he was in the hospital?
Yes, he's at St. Mary's Teaching Hospital in Arkham.
Is he there as a patient, or is he there like he's just going to meet us at the hospital?
Well, I imagine a dying man is not just going to hang out there.
Well, you weren't very clear.
Well, I mean, it was pretty clear. No. Fair enough. But yeah, he is a patient at the hospital. He wants you to meet him at his room at 1 o'clock on Thursday.
All right. Well,
I imagine in July.
What day in July?
It depends on 19. I don't look at the calendar. I don't know. I don't know which.
Oh, it's a Thursday. Oh, I see.
Well, we can easily be found out which Thursday it was in July 1923 because honestly the calendar exists.
Fuck that. Let's go to the hospital on Thursday.
Right. Okay. So you guys show up at his room.
Yes, the third.
And then you go to the front desk, or whatever, and you tell them that you're there to see Rupert Merriweather, and she takes you up to the third floor. He's got a private room. And when you get there, you see that he's got. You enter his room, and he's bedridden, and he doesn't look great. He's also got two other visitors in the room, and as soon as you walk in, he sees you, and he's like, "Oh, you came. I didn't think you were gonna come."
Okay. Just to preface this, we know this person already?
You do, yeah.
I've known him for some years.
Yeah, and you could assume, because it's not really just stated as to how you know him, but we could assume that he may be a senior member of the Society for the Exploration of the Unexplained.
Ooh.
Yeah, someone that maybe has trained you guys in or something, or someone that you revere as like an elder member.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'd like to introduce you to my wife, Agnes, and my son, Bertrand. This is Wentworth Avsbury and Nevada Jones.
Very nice to meet you both.
If you'll excuse me, would you give me a few moments with these boys? We have some things to discuss. And his wife, in tears, kind of a wreck of a person at the moment, and this relatively sneering son, they both walk out. He kind of shoots you this like disdainful look as they walk out. Oh, now, come closer. So, in my youth, I and some fellow students became involved in what we believe to be an innocent exploration of the occult. Led by a slightly older man named Marion Allen, the 6 of us purchased an old farmhouse a few miles west of Arkham, near the village of Ross's Corners. There we conducted seances and other psychical research in privacy. Alas, our work had unforeseen results. Our last experiment summoned an evil force into this world. Instead of attempting to expel the thing, we were afraid and abandoned the old house, confident that the magic that brought the evil to this world would also keep it confined in the vacant house, or send it back after a short time. However, I've since discovered that the spell that binds the entity in the house lasts only as long as the casters live. Now, I am the last of the group, and I fear that upon my death the thing will go free, and wreak havoc on the folks thereabouts. Now, I'm too old, too ill, and too much of a coward to go back to that house to try to banish the entity myself. And I'm guilty of many things, but my deepest sin was unleashing that horror that fateful night. I'm convinced the entity will escape its confinement on my death. Take this box, he says, gesturing weakly towards an innocuous metal box on the nightstand beside the bed. All the aid I can offer you lies within. You must find the courage to send that thing back to where it came from. You must see that this is done. Do this for me, please.
I don't mean any disrespect, Mr. Merriweather, but being as that you are so far up the chain of command, how is it that you ever felt like it was appropriate to keep this a secret from the society?
Well, mostly everybody involved was a society member, but they've all perished over the years. It was sort of a black ops, you could say. The blackest of ops, considering.
All right. I'll do this for you. You've, I feel up until now, been very helpful and forthcoming in at least my upbringing in the society.
Yes, you two have been some of our best agents.
If this thing is as heinous as you seem, we might not be long for this world either then.
I hope that's not the case, but
we know what we got into when we joined the society.
As did we all. So here, take this. Godspeed. And as you take the box?
Yeah, I'll take it.
As you take it, he just doubles up. He just started groaning and coughing, and he just and this big spout of blood comes shooting at you. And as that happens,
Well,
and
don't
he falls
die
into
right
this
now,
coma,
old man.
and he falls into a coma, literally. And as he does, why don't you guys both give me a sanity roll?
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. This early on?
Yeah, right.
Holy shit.
We want over our number, correct?
You want under your number always.
Oh,
I
God.
have not made it there.
Okay, give me 1 point of loss for you, Wentworth.
Yep, me too.
Okay, 1 point of loss, sanity loss for both of you. Is this man just, it's like his eyes are bulging out of his head as he coughs and just blood pouring out of his mouth. And he just collapses into this catatonic state. What do you guys do?
Oh, shit. We should call for a nurse and get the fuck out of here, Wentworth.
Yeah, that's quite. I don't want any part of this.
Yeah, I really...
Yes.
More than
Yes.
that, I really don't...
Cleanse this man.
A nurse comes running into the room and she looks in and she immediately whistles with her fingers. I can't do that, so I won't. She whistles out to the hall, and then you see that a bunch of other doctors and a couple other nurses, along with the wife and son, come running into the room, and the nurse is like, "You two should probably leave."
Absolutely. Our apologies, ma'am.
So you leave the room.
Absolutely.
What do you do now?
Get the fuck away from that sneering little child.
Right. I mean, he looks to be a man he looks to be about my age.
All right, so then only about, I'd say, like 5 years younger than Nevada is himself.
Yeah, probably.
What's in the box?
Let's put this off until we get back to the car. At least. Who knows what the fuck's in here?
Till we get back to the what?
The car.
The automobile.
Fine.
Did they call them cars back then?
Actually,
I
you
have
might be
no
right.
idea.
It might be automobile.
The motorized carriage.
The automobile.
The auto. So you go back to your car in the parking lot of the. I just immediately go to the car again. Back to the parking lot of St. Mary's Teaching Hospital in Arkham.
You just like saying that, though.
I mean, they give me proper nouns. I'm going to use them for sure. And yeah, you guys sit in the car, and what do you do?
I'll open the box up.
Yeah,
Okay.
What's in the box?
You open the box, and
Well, it's a tool. To
inside the
help.
box you find a recently written letter, a yellowed envelope, and a small sarcophagus-shaped gold box of ancient design, a slim journal bound in leather. Those are the 4 things in the box.
Are there any markings on the sarcophagus?
Yes, there is. There are some kind of hieroglyphics of sorts.
Well, then, it looks like we have a lot of reading to do, if nothing else.
Yes. Allow me to examine this sarcophagi.
Go on ahead. I'll start taking a drive.
Okay, so that puts it into perspective that you were behind the wheel. So this ornate box is kind of in the shape of a sarcophagus, obviously.
Really?
That's what sarcophagus shaped means. Yes. Give me a history or archaeology roll.
We're going for history because
I'm damn good at archaeology.
That's very true. You're an archaeologist.
88.
Yes. So you failed your roll.
Yes.
You don't recognize the hieroglyphics on this box.
What you got over there, anyway? I mean, I kind of...
I seem to have this box shaped like a sarcophagus.
When I park the car here, I'll check it out, too. I mean, I figured that I'd be the guy.
So where are you headed in the car?
That's a good question. Dude's almost dead, so if we're gonna be doing this quick, let's go to what is it? Ross's the ranch at
Going to Ross's Corner?
Ross's Corner. So I was gonna say
you're just
Ross's.
heading straight out to that town?
Why not? I mean, hell,
Okay. Yeah, it's a good half-hour drive, probably, out of town.
we should probably be quick. So
On the ride, I will read the letter, the most recent one first.
oh shit, props.
Handouts.
Yes, allow me to read this to you while we drive.
Oh, absolutely.
Dear friends, he writes, in the years after the nightmarish events of that night in my youth, I have seen many strange things. Only now do I begin to grasp the truth of reality, the scope of what is happening in the world. I've tried, in my small way, to combat the horrors and make amends for my part in bringing one to our plane of existence. Pardon me. What I have left to offer, what riches and wealth I have, I will put to good use in dealing with these abominations. It's the very least this old coward can do. He writes, I could never make myself go back to that little farmhouse and put those events to rights. I too gravely feared that which my friends and I loosed upon the countryside. Nothing of consequence has yet taken place, but with my death I fear the bonds will be broken, and that whore freed to come and go as it pleases. Life's not yet taken already weigh heavy on my conscience. I feel you reading over my shoulder. You're supposed to be paying attention to the road.
Oh, sorry. I'm not quite used to it yet.
I have but a paragraph. The method of delivering the thing out of this world is still in that accursed house. The translations made by Marion.
Marion, is that one of the people that he...
Marion was his friend who purchased the house with
Yeah,
him.
Marion Allen was the older man he referred to. His
Right.
name is Rupert Merriweather.
Yes.
Merriweather and Marion, I realized you were like juxtaposition.
A little bit.
I'm
Juxtapositive.
old and slightly addled. You can't throw these
That's all right.
curveballs at me.
I've got you. That's
As
all
the
right.
children say. The translations made by Marion from the book De Vermis Mysterious. I was never strong enough to take on the task, but I have hope that you are. In ridding the world of this, perhaps you will save my soul from hell. But perhaps not. That was me. For I fear that my deeds have not been enough to release me from this heavy burden. I do expect your forgiveness for what I ask of you, etc., Rupert Merriweather. So essentially, he tells us nothing except for there are translations from this book inside the house of death and whores. Am I saying that right?
Are you saying horror like George Bush says terror?
Tear.
Like whore and tear.
All right, well, I mean, at least that gives us an idea of where he was getting translations from. Wait.
Yeah, Divermius Mysterious.
I'm the languages professor.
Well,
yes.
I was just going to say, I'm glad
Well,
that
I'm
you...
the keeper.
Well, I'm glad that you if nothing else, glad that you're along with, because maybe you could do a little bit better translating as well. I definitely can't. So,
Yes, public school and whatnot.
is this something? Yeah, it's unfortunate. Is there anything else in there that, I mean, obviously, is the journal part of the translations as well, or is that something that's in the house?
Well, that would be up to the keeper to answer, as I'm still digging through the box.
Yes. Again, there's still
There's a yellowed letter.
the yellowed envelope, which as you hold it, it feels like it's got something in it.
Oh, let me investigate this.
Okay, you open that up and you see a deed to a house, which refers to a farm property on Boone Road, which is just outside of Ross's Corners.
Perfect. We needed that anyway.
And
I didn't
also
know where the
inside
fuck I was going.
Oh yeah, right. Also inside that envelope is a key.
Well, we've just become property owners, Nevada. You'll make a fine manservant.
Honestly, the way you dress, I kind of assumed that you were going to be the manservant.
Ooh, retro burn.
You look like a Jeeves or a Chives or something.
Chives.
Well, I do appreciate the green onions myself, but
What else we got in there? I'll check out these sarcophagus when we get there.
we have the key, we have the address, we have the deed, and we have
A journal.
a journal.
Oh, shit. That is fucking involved.
There are a lot of pages.
I would only imagine.
Would you like me to read this to you?
Probably not the whole thing, sir.
It does take, as you page through the journal, you realize it's going to take you a while to read. Literally about 4 hours in game.
Oh, shit.
Not like actually, but you know,
Okay.
those are the highlights essentially.
While we're taking a drive, can you do a skim through it
Yes.
You could do, yeah.
so we can just look for a little bit more pertinent information when we get there?
I'd say in the amount of time that the drive takes, you could get to the whole first page.
Word.
So if you want to read the first page,
Yes.
I'm a guest.
Right.
If you want to save that for a little bit of silent reading on the way through or whatever, I mean, you can give me the cliff notes when we get there.
Be like, yes, Wentworth, read it, but silently.
Please. Hear your voice enough as it
skimming
is.
through this first page, I'm going to open the sarcophagus and see if this piece of amber is still inside.
Okay, yeah. You open up the sarcophagus. The lid comes off the box pretty easily. However, there is nothing inside. You do notice, though, that there is odd carvings on the inside of the box lid that resemble certain writings that an occult roll might be able to identify.
Nope.
Okay, you cannot identify them.
Nope. What's your occult at?
Very low.
Damn, mine's good as fuck. Both of these things are from.
Just stop fucking around with that sarcophagus, will you? Shit.
I will
God
not.
damn.
Will you shit?
If there's anything that I'm good at in this world, it's
Sarcophagi.
Sarcophagi.
Say it just a little faster, sir.
Sarcophagi.
No, faster.
Wait, what?
Say it faster.
I almost just ran off the road. Please.
all right. Well, I guess there's nothing really huge we can do until we get there.
Right, so
At least that I can do either.
You're right,
you know?
you're right. So you get to Ross's Corners. It's a hamlet just a few miles west of Arkham. Just a few tired buildings and homes. Seems as though the prosperity of the local farms had long been in decline. You see that the population on the sign as you get there is about 40. You see a church, a general store, which looks to be also a post office and a gas station, and a milk depot. Whatever that is. I think you can get that at the grocery store.
Just milk, sir. I'm sorry.
We got butter too.
Yeah, half and half and some sweet cream as well.
You got that buttermilk. Get the cheese. Anyway,
All right. What the fuck was the road that this shit was on?
Boone Road.
Boone.
We're going for Boone's Farm.
Yeah, Boone's.
Boone's Farm. That kind of makes sense. Actually.
Yeah,
It is a
oh,
farm on
shit.
Boone Road.
Oh shit,
Wow,
man!
that's where they get it from. Lovecraft.
That explains the hangovers.
All right, well, let's,
pretty
ooh.
pretty eldritch.
Yeah, absolutely. Insanity for sure.
You're there.
Yeah.
You guys heading to
that
the actual
actually
house?
sounded like
I suppose if we wanted to look into it in town and shit too, I mean,
Okay.
that's actually not a bad idea.
well from the story we were told. I don't believe that anything would be happening in town. However, it would definitely be cool to check out because it sounded like this demon, whatever, otherworldly being would be trapped in the house until Mary dies.
Right. But I also would like to, I mean, like, was there any, let me see that journal again real quick.
That urinal?
Yeah, I just want to look at dates on here real quick, because,
February 27th.
Oh, shit. 1877? Fuck.
Well, he is quite aged.
Also, it is 19.
Oh, brutal murder at the
Something
docks.
like 45 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, I see.
He just paid it through while driving. He just got on the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Driving with
Hey, man, I don't have any
You
laws to worry about. If we're talking about...
You're going to get pulled over for being on your cell phone.
yeah. You're like, sir, sir, what is that horrible device that you have?
It's that light box.
If they purchased this property this long ago, the likelihood that there might have been some kind of activity around the house. People, I mean, only 40 people in town. Somebody might know about some weird shit. Kids breaking in there, hooligans and all that shit.
Well, let's investigate around town and ask questions and whatnot.
Yeah, let's try to take advantage of the very few people that are here as far as we can. Try to be as prepared as we can.
You want to take advantage of these poor people?
Yeah, anyway.
My God, low-class ruffian.
Let's park, please, somewhere. Anywhere. I got to get out of this car. I'm going to have a heart attack.
Where are you heading in town?
There's the milk depot. There's the
A church and a general store.
general store first.
Okay, you head to the general store. You going to pull up to the pumps? You going to gas up or anything?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Fill it up.
So expensive.
6 cents a gallon.
Hey, man, I got it. It's fine.
So you just head into the general store, and you see this large, portly woman with an apron on. She's kind of just hanging up behind the counter reading a newspaper. You boys ain't from around here, are you?
Absolutely not. We were wondering if we could get your help, actually. Just a little bit of information if we could.
Regarding what?
An old house out on Boone Road.
Oh, you mean that old farmhouse?
Yeah. We just recently acquired the deed to the place.
Well, from what I hear, the place is haunted.
Strangely enough, that's what we hear as well. We don't really...
Why'd you buy the place?
it's actually good property, to be honest. The house doesn't matter too much. We can tear it down, that's fine.
We should.
It's mostly for farmland around it.
Well, farmland around here hasn't been very plentiful since like the 90s. 1890s, Aaron. Not the future.
Yeah, well, we know a guy who knows a guy.
Well,
We figured it might be lucrative, especially because it's not too far away from Arkham here. We're originally holed up, and this property was a steal. It was insane.
yeah. Did you get it from Mr. Merriweather up at Arkham?
Yeah, I've known Mr. Merriweather for a while.
Well, he's owned that place for years, but hasn't done shit with it. I mean, everybody knows that. Lawn could use a good tendon.
Oh, I'm sure of it. He told me just the same.
Well,
It was almost as a favor for him that we took care of the place firstly, but I feel like it might be pretty decent property for what we need.
yeah, I mean, I wish you luck. I mean, there's been some thing. You just head down, you're north of town. Yeah, turn down, take a left down the road, about some 2 miles or so. You'll see an old lightning damaged tree. And you're gonna take a right there, and you'll be right there in the property.
All right.
Now, there's some. I feel like I can trust you guys with this information, but local woman disappeared the other night. Middle-aged woman, farmer's wife, named Maggie McFurter. She went out after dark to check on their horses, and she hasn't been seen since.
This location,
Well, she's out that way. I mean, their farm is, but you'd be going down another mile or two before you come to the McFurter
well,
farm.
I've never really put any stock in ghost stories, but
Nor have I.
from what I've heard, people's superstitions say that most of the weird occurrences happen directly around the house itself.
I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, I apologize. I'm not law enforcement or anything of the such, but
Where are you guys from? You guys seem official of sorts.
kinda here and there. We're mostly investors, if nothing else.
Okay. Bankers.
Speculators, if you will.
Well, he looks like a banker.
Yeah, well, that's why he's here with me.
That monocle
He'd be the guy.
makes me think that, what is it, astigmatism? That makes you bad? You have bad vision in one eye only?
Well, you see, ma'am, I lost the other as a young man. In the first Great War. The Great War.
The only one. Yeah, the only one's apart.
The first great. He just knows the future.
There's going to be another.
Yeah, he's only got the one good eye. Still good with numbers, and
Yes, 1 and 1 make 2 and whatnot.
Well, I can tell you that much.
and that's all the proof I ever needed.
Seem like an easy man to assuage.
Well, I've been lucky with most of my dealings, and it's mostly because of him. So
Well,
you do what you can.
Well, I wish you boys luck. If you need anything, you stock up on anything, would you stop on in?
Salt, firstly.
Salt? We got salt. How many pounds do you need?
Oh, maybe a couple.
All right, 2 pounds of salt.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You guys gonna be around for a while?
Might be.
I'm gonna set you guys up a tab.
Oh, that would be mighty kind of
You
you.
guys come from Arkham?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, why don't you guys come square up before you head back home?
That's perfectly fine with me.
Great.
We appreciate your
She
hospitality.
shakes your hand. This manly handshake from this.
Beastmaster handshake, damn.
Yeah, she goes with the forearm.
One last thing, I was curious. Town of so few people. You got any, might sound weird, like hooligans, younger folk, people messing around with your shit?
No more than usual. Usually they're kind of nipped in the bud anytime that kind of stuff happens.
All right. Just always seems like, abandoned homes and shit always attract youth.
That they do.
Figured if there was any kind of weird property damage or anything like that, might be able to seek people out for it.
I mean, I wouldn't be looking. I mean, if I did run across something along those lines, I wouldn't assume it would be youth as much as old drunkards, typical hobos,
Squatters and such.
derelicts.
All right. Well, I appreciate you answering my questions, being new in town.
Well, of course, you don't seem like the shady type.
I try not to be. Good day, ma'am.
You as well.
We'll head the fuck out of there.
All right. You imagine you guys are heading up to the farmhouse then, or you have anything else you want to do in town here?
I'm thinking maybe Choich.
It didn't process the section.
Who?
Is there like a law enforcement place? Is there a cop shop?
You don't see one around town. On first glance, you usually look around.
Well then, church it is.
Okay.
We can always ask them about what they do with law enforcement dealings. Maybe they come down from Arkham, but I feel like a half an hour drive, even at high speeds, is pretty unreasonable.
Yes, you would know all about high speeds, wouldn't you?
I'm sorry, I drive faster than 42 miles an hour.
Lead-lined boots.
I got places to go. You might not be young, but I see what it looks like to age horribly, and I don't want to.
Well, quit looking in the mirror. Good Lord.
I think it's all the time I spend with you, to be honest.
What?
That's all he's got.
What?
Let's head to the church. At least,
Would you like me to take the lead this time, lad?
yeah, I think when it comes to church, I'd prefer it at this point.
Yes, well, I do have a certain charm with the clergymen.
Yeah, that's what I'd call it. I have my own little bit of faith, and nowadays it doesn't really align the same way that it used to. Maybe if you want to take a trip in there quick first, maybe I'll just take an opportunity to look at the sarcophagus a little bit while I'm sitting on the car, and I'll follow you in after.
Yeah, see if you can make heads or tails of this.
That's a great idea.
I'll do my best.
Wentworth gets out of the car. You grab the sarcophagus and give me those checks now, so we can just get out of the way.
Okay,
So first off, you're going to want to give me a
archaeology.
yes or history to determine the to identify the hieroglyphs
Okay,
decorating the outside of the box.
archaeology it is. 63. That's under 70.
Nice. There you
So
go.
that's a
Yeah. So you identify the hieroglyphs as Egyptian of the Middle Kingdom. Although you do know that those carved on the inside of the lid are distinctly different and not Egyptian at all. Give me an occult roll for that.
Alrighty.
Shit, nope, not that one.
All right, and you can't identify those. So, meanwhile, Wentworth goes into the church, and you walk into this place, and you see that there's nobody in here. I mean, it is a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
But you do see, sitting in the front pew, there's a gentleman in his mid-30s. Clearly the pastor here. He's got a black shirt on, black pants. He's got his cowboy boots, which is odd for Massachusetts. He's just kind of kicked up on the front. I guess he's a pew second row. He's got his feet up on there, and you see like this plume of cigarette smoke coming out from his general area. As you walk in the door, closes behind you, and you see his feet come down, and he turns around, and he's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and he's like, "What are you doing here on a Thursday?"
What are you doing here?
I mean, I work here. This is my church. Let me introduce myself. I'm Father Jesse Custer.
Well, hello, Father Custer. Wentworth Belvedere Absbury.
So what can I do for you?
Well, Father, we've recently acquired some property here in town. I was just wondering what you can tell me about the town.
Yeah, what's the property?
The farm on Boone's Road. We're calling it the Boone's Farm.
And you notice as he's laughing, you can get this strong whiff of whiskey on this guy's breath. Yeah, that's a haunted house, correct?
If you believe in such sorts of things.
As you say that, he picks his foot up and kind of puts his cigarette out on the bottom of his boot, and he flicks it off to the side and offers one to you as well.
Yes, quite. Thank you, sir.
Opens up a Zippo and lights your cigarette, lights his own. And what questions do you have?
Just in general about the town and potentially any history of the property you might know.
Well, I'm relatively new here. The previous pastor here was I'm not too sure why he left, but there was a vacancy, so I figured I'd get out of Texas. And
As the saying do.
right. Well, it's fucking true. So what questions do you have about the farmhouse? I mean, besides, I guess I really don't know much about it. I mean, like I said, I'm new here as well.
Well, of course, we've all heard the haunted house stories.
Right, yeah, that's all I've ever really heard. That it's haunted.
Your grocer, butcher, madam.
Ma something or other. Ma
Yes,
Peters.
Her name is Ma Peters.
Well, that's what they call her. I imagine she's got a first name because nobody names their child Ma.
Correct.
Now, I got just a simple question. What are you planning on doing with the farmland out there?
Potentially raising the building, farming, and we're speculators, really.
All right, well, if you we see something weird or anything like that, might be interested in seeing what's going on with that.
How do you mean weird, exactly?
Well, I feel like you'll know when you see it, if you see it at all.
Well, my young partner and I are, as I said, speculators, and we've run across.
Partner?
Yes, my young partner, he should be along shortly. He's doing something.
All right, yeah. Shit, it's about dinner time. You guys interested in joining me for dinner in the parsonage?
Absolutely, that would be wonderful.
Well, great. Well, I'm going to head over next door here, and you know which house it is. It's the one attached, the one on the property. Why don't you guys come in and wash up, and hell, maybe you guys should hit up that house in the morning.
That may be a good plan. Who knows how long it's been since anyone's been in there.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like something that you don't want to tackle after dinner. It seems like something maybe that best assessed when you have a day to assess it.
Yes, I'll gather my young ward. I'm sure he's wandering about doing something.
You guys cool with whiskey? Or you more wine type?
Oh, whiskey.
Did I hear whiskey? I come in through the back door. Or the front door.
You must be his young partner.
I mean, comparatively, yes. Nevada Jones.
Reverend Jesse Custer.
Nice to meet you. Sorry, my hands are so sweaty.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it's comes with the job sometimes.
Speaking of job, what do you guys do anyway?
Did he say some kind of assessors? Because usually he says weird shit.
Oh, well, that being the case, I imagine there's more to it than that. Well, I just extended an invitation to your partner here to join me for dinner.
All I needed to hear was whiskey, friend.
Well, why don't you come on next door here?
I think we're getting along just fine.
Indeed. So the three of you then head over to the parsonage, and he throws some steaks on the grill, cracks open a bottle of whiskey.
Damn, you really know how to treat folk around here.
Well, I don't get a lot of visitors. I mean, we got your typical townsfolk that come to the church every Sunday or whenever they got some kind of guilt they need rid of. But other than that, there's really no one around. No one of interest, anyway. Till you gentlemen walked in. You guys seem like you've seen some things.
I was actually just about to say the same about you, sir.
That may be the case.
You don't seem like a traditional man of the cloth.
No, that's true. I mean, everybody around here just chalks it up to being Texan, but sometimes it's more than where you come from that makes you.
No,
go through.
that's absolutely true. As a matter of fact, I'm from Winnipeg myself, but when I was a young man, I had moved down south myself, down
Nevada?
as a matter of fact.
So I got to imagine that Nevada's not your birth name.
No, sir.
Well,
It's not going to be. I'm not going to tell you that.
Well, that's fair.
You've been holding secrets.
Exactly. He doesn't even know. Strangely enough, I don't usually feel too comfortable around men of the cloth. Not for any nefarious reasons. I just, all right, you got me. In our line of work, we really, it's hard to believe once you hit a certain point in what we do. Well, wouldn't you say the same?
I would definitely say that we've seen some shit.
Quite. I never really took you as a man of the cloth to begin with, or anybody that was a believer. You
never took me for a man of the cloth.
No, I didn't mean man of the cloth, God damn it. I'm sorry, I can't misspeak around this motherfucker anywhere.
Looks more like a man of the serving cloth. Get the drift.
It looks like a Jeeves or a Chives, right?
No, totally. Looks like a Winston.
A Winston? It's my younger brother, Wentworth and Winston. We're the fabulous Avsbury twins in the boxing rings. Right after the Great
I
War.
forgot that you were a boxer. Damn, you used to be a badass. What happened to you?
I'll still beat tar down your leg, bitch.
That was wonderful.
Oh, man. I'll tell you right now, this is probably the only reason that you and I stick together anymore, old friend.
Because you're scared, yes.
Of you, mostly. Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Roll my eyes. All right. I'm curious now.
Yes?
We come into town case by case. We do jobs, and usually if people start getting interested in what we do, they usually assume that we're law enforcement of some kind, maybe PIs.
Uh-huh.
You don't seem to have that same kind of inclination.
Nah, you guys seem like something. You know, I've seen some weirdos in my days, some unusual investigators, but you're definitely some of those.
Yeah, you could say that for sure.
Some that don't investigate things of this world.
It's curious that you say that. What, you had any experiences yourself?
Yeah, with
Tell me, sir, do you recognize this symbol at all?
well, these I mean, I recognize that symbol. Some kind of cult.
Yes, it's my firm belief, and I do believe Nevada may have some faint inkling of this as well. It's my firm belief that this symbol, the cult of Cthulhu.
Cthulhu?
Cthulhu?
It's not
Have we been saying it wrong this whole time?
I am unsure.
Do you have a pronunciation for this?
I'm not familiar with that word, but I'm sure he's pronouncing it wrong.
I feel like I am too.
feel
to
like
be
it's
honest
like
with you. Here, I'll write it down. You tell me what it looks like. All right.
Looks like cuttlefish.
It looks like Cthulhu to me.
That sounds really good. To be honest with you, sounds way better than Cthulhu.
I mean,
Cthulhu.
I don't know why the ER came in there. I thought it was one of those weird foreign types of things.
Like Calcutta.
Yeah, I don't even know how to spell that either. So
I've seen it spelled with a K, but that was just by some idiots in the 80s.
the 1880s.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I remember the 1880s.
Now I'm curious. You ever had any experiences yourself?
I mean, a few things. Strange things. People close to me. I can tell you a couple things that you may or may not believe. You may, considering your line of work.
You'd be surprised. It's not, as a matter of fact, it's not often that we run into anybody that feels close to the line of work that we, I don't know, got ourselves into, I guess.
I mean, what you guys do and what I do aren't necessarily that different. We're both dealing with other dimensional beings, if you will.
That's a pretty big assumption there.
Well, when you've seen proof of what people alone live by faith, then things get pretty certain.
You look like a man who can read people. I don't think that I should have any disillusions in your ability to read us here, to be honest with you. We got some serious shit on our hands. I wish I could tell you the whole story here, but I don't know it. As a matter of fact, we just jumped on the job today because it's ridiculously urgent.
Nevada, let's just lay all of our cards on the table.
And to be honest here, I'm gonna be real.
As opposed to fictional?
Yeah, I was, I was acting Lovecraftian before.
What is that?
I have no idea.
Is
I'm gonna
that
head
like
out.
Machiavellian?
I'm gonna head out to the car quick. I'm gonna grab our stuff. You think?
Yes, I'll relay the information that we know now.
Yeah. I think it'd be good to go through the journal again anyway. So I'll be right back, sir. I'll go to the car and grab the sarcophagus and all the shit.
Okay.
So usually kind of goes against standard to bring people into this kind of shit just right out the gate. But there might not be a really good opportunity for us to... I understand if this sounds a little bit insane, but we might not make it out of that house tomorrow. And we need people to know. At least somebody who could potentially understand what we're talking about. This is very, very unusual, but we work for
The Society for the Exploration of the Unexplained is the word you're looking for.
yes.
That's coincidence.
The SEU.
Yeah, I know, I'm familiar. That's what, when I heard there was a job opening here this close to Arkham, I left Texas for a reason.
Such as?
Getting closer to the SCU.
In all the weird shit that I've ever experienced, I've never believed in coincidence.
Nor have I.
I think we just might have found our third here, at least for now. I mean, to be honest, if you don't plan on coming with us, I think we need you to hold on to some things here. Like I said, people should know. The right people. Because if we fail tomorrow...
Then everyone will know in very short order and not for very long.
Very much so. And we'll...
One of those ELEs.
ELE.
Extinction level event.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Everything is lately.
See, we're real new to the information as well. And, yeah, well, it's probably best for you to check it out yourself here. And I'll pass over a piece of the information. The journal is probably the most important of that. I'm going to start going through some of this myself.
He reads through this letter that you hand him, and he's like, well, I recognize a couple things here. De Vermius Mysterious. That's one of those forbidden books. Sounds to me like he might be dealing with some demons or something.
Demons specifically.
Perhaps.
Okay, well.
He's referring to hell. And
yeah, that's fair.
You, me, I know a lot in your line of work, especially don't believe in those places, but I have seen it with my own eyes. That is a real place.
Well, I think,
Pardon?
if he's, yeah. I'll tell you right now, Wentworth, if he's being honest, we should probably shape up here while we're in this building before we go to our deaths.
Pardon? I was reading.
Don't you think that that's going to do any good?
Reading?
Probably not.
Things don't work that way.
Reading.
I mean,
reading always does good.
That's not... I feel like you're having a separate conversation.
I think that
Let
might...
me in, goddammit.
Apparently our friend here has seen the hell that Rupert was speaking of.
Oh, well.
I mean, it's the hell that everyone's speaking of, but, it is a real place. It's just more complex than
Yes, it's
all
a real
of
place
this.
at the
And he
root.
shakes his Bible, makes it seem.
It's a real place at the roots of Yggdrasil, the world tree.
Perhaps.
All the bullshit aside, you know the truth regardless. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if anybody does, which nobody does, I at least have a piece of it. So, Mr. Absbury, what have you been paging through over there? Looks like you got some kind of journal or something.
Well, this journal entry here from March 20th, 1877. They've summoned a creature they call a djinn.
Oh, shit.
Gins.
No, a djinn.
I'm not familiar.
Nor am I, however, it is, here's a line.
Wait. You haven't heard, neither of you heard of gin?
No.
Not the liquor.
Maybe it's,
only the liquor.
no. Maybe it's just because of the background. You see, I was an archaeologist before all this. I got wrapped up in some real weird shit, and,
That explains the outfit.
well, the society saved my ass, and, I figured if nothing else, I could join to repay him, and it's probably the best decision I made, because I don't know if I'd still be here otherwise. The shit that happened there was absolutely fucking horrendous. But, getting to the point, knowing a lot about ancient cultures puts you in a position to know a lot about their strange beliefs. And if it's real, jinn aren't something to be fucked with. It's kind of where the modern idea of genies and wishes come from. But it's a little bit more politically correct the way that most people know it.
Mm.
I don't know much else about that, but that I do know.
That sounds interesting.
According to this, as soon as the thing formed, it grabbed a poor man and twisted his head off, and then threw it at someone else in the room.
That's believable.
Yeah, that don't sound like wishes at all.
No. And, if wishes were fishes, we'd all be poop.
What the hell does that mean?
I say things sometimes.
From what I can see paging through this right now, I mean, just talks a lot about how the ritual had started or how they had done it firstly. I don't know if that's going to be a huge amount of information or helpful information for us moving forward, but
Here I have a line that says, they believe that the spell they cast to summon it inextricably bound the thing to the house. According to Rupert's statement to us, it is bound to the house until the last of the caster dies, which would be our friend Rupert, who was coughing up his liver last time we saw him.
I was just going to say, that was
How recently did you see him?
earlier this afternoon, and as soon as,
And how is he now?
comatose. I don't think we have much time. Taking the night's probably a good idea no matter what we do, but
Where's he at?
yeah, over at St. Mary's Teaching Hospital in Arkham.
You want to use? If you want, you can use the phone. Maybe ring in and see if how he's holding up.
Are you rich, man? You have a phone in your house?
Everybody has a phone in their house.
Actually, that's an amazing idea. I don't know why we didn't think of it before. I'll go take care of that. I'll let you know when I get back.
Excellent.
You guys keep going through some of this shit. Maybe you'll find something that I can't. You're the language expert.
Yes.
All right. I'll be back.
Now that we know that the coffin sarcophagus has Egyptian hieroglyphs, can I try and read some of those? The answer to that is no, I cannot.
So you still don't quite understand anything about it, but you believe what he said, and you see it now. You're like, oh yeah,
Like,
it was
oh,
right.
yes, the
Let me
Eye of Ra.
let me take a look at that. That seems kind of interesting.
There you go.
He looks at it. He's like, I don't recognize any of these carvings on the outside. He opens it up and he looks at the inside. He's like, oh, but these on the other hand, these look to be. I've seen something like this before. Now you might be able to attribute some of these carvings to certain occultists. The lost Pacific continent of Mu.
I am familiar. Yes. MU.
Yeah, that's I mean, I don't know much about them, but I do recognize some of these before from a friend of mine who had to stay here for a bit.
I don't recall very much information off the top of my head. What do you recall of this continent?
Yeah, it's somewhere in the Pacific. I know it's something to do with some kind of ancient being worshippers of some sort. Don't know particularly, though. Well, I have had enough to drink. I feel like I need to go to bed. There are guest rooms if you would like to have them for the night, and then in the morning I would like to accompany you to the house if you're cool with that. You call the hospital. You ask about Marion. Last name? No,
Rupert.
Merriweather. Rupert Merriweather.
Yeah,
My
you
God.
did it now.
There's far too many.
We're all on a
There's
list.
a lot, yeah.
Oh, that's going to be weird.
Time. No, and you find that he's passed. Actually, it turns out it's about an hour after you guys left, he passed.
Oh, fuck. My condolences to the family. I appreciate the information.
And then the nurse thanks you and hangs up.
Mm.
And then when you come back to the common or the living room or whatever, it's just Wentworth, and that's it.
Our host has adjourned for the evening. There are guest rooms this way.
Yeah.
I suggest we both do the same.
I agree. I could hear him stumbling away. Dude's got to hold his liquor. Dude.
Well, you certainly are very cowboy-esque in your cups.
Yeah, well, I mean, like water anymore. Regardless, I have bad news. I'm sure you could guess at this point. Mr. Merriweather's passed several hours ago, as a matter of fact.
I'm very sorry for that, by the way. But that still does not explain why a woman went missing yesterday.
No, that's true.
Several miles away.
But it does give us a far shorter time frame for us to be able to possibly take care of this. I really do dislike the idea of taking the night now, but I understand it's
potentially not great to approach at.
I absolutely agree with everything we've seen in the past. I don't really think that it's ever a good idea.
Yes.
No matter the impending doom.
The description in the journal I read described this as a faceless thing with 1,000 maws. I would not like to soil myself by coming upon this in the dark.
Yeah, well, I'll probably have enough nightmares about this shit tonight as it is.
So you guys head to bed for the evening, and you wake the next morning, and Jesse's already ready to go. He's already got, obviously he's had a little bit of whiskey.
It's
already.
early.
Yeah, it's early.
Good.
And about 5:30 in the morning or so.
Perfect. My time of day.
And you guys get up in the car. Jesse follows you in his truck, and you guys head off down Boone Road to the farm. You see the blackened lightning-struck tree, of course, and you know to turn there, and you do. You drive down this. The road itself is wide, a weed-grown gravel track, and the yard is overgrown heavily. The house is of an 18th century salt box design with a high-peaked roof and windows flanked by sagging shutters. Most of the windows you see are broken, but the ones that you do see that are intact are filthy, almost resembled frosted glass due to the years of dirt and dust. It's a single-story building. The roof seems to be a little bowed, but it looks as though all the shingles are intact. The whole place kind of exudes this strange, unsettling atmosphere as the general ambient nature sounds of the world kind of don't exist around you. You don't hear any birds chirping. You just hear this creaking of the branches in the wind. Jesse gets out of his truck. You see him immediately lighting a cigarette with the cigarette he's putting out. Throws it into the grass. He's like, kind of, I better stop on that before it goes out. You hear him whisper to himself before it lights himself up.
I like voicelessly just reach over for a cigarette and like just staring at this house the whole time.
He just kind of puts it in your hand.
Appreciate it.
I feel like this place needs a lawnmower.
At the very least. All right, guys.
Sort of almost regretting my
Decision to come here?
my eagerness to accompany you, but
Yeah, I felt
I mean it.
Well, fellows, as the youngsters say these days, we must sack up and enter.
I'm glad at least we have you here, because
Yes, I
I'm
keep
not gonna-
everyone's spirits high.
I'm not going to lie to you, I'm shitting my pants right now.
Are you ill? Do you have the cholera?
I'm glad you can get distracted so easily, Wentworth. All right, Father. You ready to potentially meet your maker?
Again?
Mm.
Of course.
All right, everybody. Hate to interrupt here, but this part is going to be a little bit longer than the first one. So we're going to go for a part 2 on this. Part 2 on part 2.
Part 2 of part 2, yep. Part
So,
2.5.
I think this is where we're going to wrap. I hope you come back and listen next time around.
Well, in the words of Wentworth, stay calm, stay happy, don't sniff glue.